Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing today? Well, what we have in store for you this morning is a classic Southern breakfast, or at least an item from a classic Southern breakfast. We're going to make sausage, gravy, and biscuits. I'm guessing it was originally designed as a real inexpensive way to feed a bunch of folks and give them that nice, warm, comfort feel. This is true comfort food, I gotta believe it. I know it's been a favorite of mine for forever, ever since I first had it back in the early 80s. So we're gonna make some biscuits. Now, I have some pre-made biscuit mix. They're fine. They go by different brands. This one is Pioneer. Another one I favor is called Biscuits, which it's absolutely phenomenal. They've got all the leavening and everything in there, so you don't have to worry about handling that. We're gonna have 1 cup, remember, it's only me, so I'm scaling down this recipe. We have 1 cup of the flour, and I'm gonna mix in 1/3 cup of milk. And we're going to make our dough for our biscuits. And just mix it around. We're doing this live, so you know that there's no TV trickery or anything. It's starting to come together. There's probably shortening in here, and there's leavening agents. And it's coming together nicely. Starting to form a nice ball, see? I have I'm going to add a little more because it's a little damp still. That's the water for my coffee boiling. Let me get that off the stove. I use instant coffee here. I don't bother with a percolator or a coffee maker. Okay, this is a nice dough. You don't want to overwork your dough, just till it starts to stick like this. And then we're going to put it out. We're going to flour the surface a little here. It's still a sticky dough. It's a very sticky dough. Turn it out on a floured surface. Pat it down. I'm going to make maybe 2 or 3 biscuits out of this. Pound it down so it's about a 1/4 inch tall. If you want tall biscuits, make it a 1/2 inch. It's totally up to you. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Some people want to let the dough rest. It's all up to you. I mean, that's our oven preheating. I'm going to use this as my cutter, and I'm just going to press down and make a biscuit. Press down and make a biscuit. So this is a lightly oiled cookie sheet over here that I've got. You know what? This dough is still a little damp. Let's Sometimes this is going to happen. I'm just throwing a little, don't call the biscuit police or anything, as Emerald would say. Just going to add a little bit more flour in there, make it a little more substantial. So it's not as sticky. Hey, it's all about having fun in the kitchen. At least for me it is. So, yeah, that's a little better. I'm gonna wash my hands again. And go flour that again. See, this is the stuff they don't show you on the cooking shows. They edit all this out. And this is all the fun about cooking to me. Sometimes you're gonna make mistakes. Sometimes you're gonna, don't worry about it. It'll still turn out fine. A little more flour. I'm gonna put a little more flour around it. There we go. That's nice. That's a nice. And now we fix. That's a good. See, you can feel it. You can feel the difference when it comes off nice and easy. Easy breezy. 1, 2, 3 easy. I'm gonna wash this. I know I'm crazy about washing stuff. What can I tell you? I know I'm only using it as a biscuit cutter, but still I want a nice clean edge. So, let's go in, cut a biscuit, there we go, perfect biscuit. Put it on a lightly greased baking tray. There's my other biscuit. And like I said, I thought I was gonna get about 3 biscuits out of this deal. I'm going to roll this back together and form a biscuit out of it. There's my 3rd biscuit, and we got a little left over. I'll make a little teaser. I've been preheating the oven for 450 degrees. We're going to put these in for about, I'm going to say 11 minutes. And while that's in for 11 minutes, I'm going to start the sausage gravy. So let's get this into here. I'm going to clean that up. Let me clean up. I'm going to put these in the oven. And as soon as we're ready to start the sausage gravy, we'll be right back. Okay, the biscuits are in the oven there. There's about 10 minutes to go until they're done. We're going to start on the sausage gravy. It's going to be delicious. For this kind of thing, I like to use the bulk sausage. This is Jimmy Dean. Sage. It has a nice flavor. We're going to take this. Yeah, don't bother with the little sausage patties or the links or anything like that. Go straight for this. This is a great bargain. You get a lot of sausage. This is a pound. This is a pound of sausage. Just peel it out, whatever you're going to use. I'm going to use about that much for me, maybe about 1/4 pound. Cut it off, and then pull the wrapper back up and seal it up and put it in the fridge. If you want, stick it in the freezer if you're not going to make it anytime soon. You can cut these off, make individual patties. You can use it for stuff like this. You can put it in gravies, in just about anything. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to put this back in the fridge. I'm gonna wash my hands. And we're gonna take this. I have a non-stick saucepan here, and I'm gonna stick this sausage in there, and I'm gonna let it start to brown. And we're gonna break it up into little pieces, and then we're gonna add the milk, the pepper, and the salt. And basically, that's it. That's all there is to this recipe. Oh, you can put a little bit of flour in there, or your biscuit mix, to help tighten up the milk and turn it into a gravy. But let's, for right now, just break this up, break up the sausage. I'm just breaking it into little pieces. The flavor that this simple dish has is absolutely amazing. Gonna let that cook. Once the sausage has rendered out its fat, I'm gonna add a little bit of the biscuit flour. You can use regular flour, whatever you have. You can even use cornstarch. Some people like to use cornstarch. But since we used that, we're going to keep going with the trend. Let me show you what this looks like right now. Beautiful sausage, cooking away, getting nice and brown, rendering out its fat. I may add a little bit of butter. You say, why? Why butter? Well, because I want it to have a little more fat in there. Because this sausage, believe it or not, is pretty lean. Coming along fabulously. I'm going to put a little bit of butter, maybe about a tablespoon. Go lower the heat a little bit. I'm going to take and sprinkle in about a tablespoon of this flour, and we're basically making a roux. A roux is the beginning of any kind of sauce. And you usually go, for every tablespoon of fat, you put a tablespoon of flour. So in goes the flour. I'm going to mix it around. Beautiful, beautiful. And in this case, I'm going to put a half a cup, because it's only me. This is a great, this is my go-to breakfast for like after Thanksgiving when everybody stayed over. And I gotta feed 10 or 15 people the next morning. This is my go-to breakfast. This with scrambled eggs. I'm gonna put a half a cup of milk. I'm gonna stir that around. Yeah, for Christmas morning or Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, when everybody's in the house, this is definitely the quick, easy, inexpensive breakfast to feed everybody. I keep my flowers like that in the refrigerator. They seem to last a lot longer. That's going to come up to a boil. You never know the thickness of your sauce until you let the sauce boil. If it doesn't boil, you'll never know how thick it's going to get. So you have to bring it up to a boil. Okay, we're going to watch the sauce. It's starting to get there. I'm going to put the milk away. Our biscuits have probably about another 3 or 4 minutes on them. It'll all be done about the same time. We'll be right back. Okay, the timer just went off. The biscuits are done. The gravy is done. While we were away, I added a ½ teaspoon of pepper and a ¼ teaspoon of salt to that. Here's our beautiful biscuits. They're golden brown, delicious looking. You can cut them in half. You can leave them whole, whatever you want. I'm going to cut this one in half. Lay it out on a plate. And then take some of our gravy and put it over the biscuits. Let you get in and look at that. There you go. Beautiful sage sausage, biscuits, and gravy for a beautiful Southern breakfast. If you want, serve that with some scrambled eggs or just by itself, and it's a phenomenal meal. I'm just going to grab a fork real quick here. The biscuit is nice and flaky. The gravy is perfectly seasoned. That sage sausage just adds such a depth to this. It's a very comforting meal. Come back next time. Maybe we'll teach you something. Bye-bye.